I'm sure when everybody heard that Extras was going to be the Gervais Merchant's, next project, they were worried that it would be all a kind of in-joke about acting and that it was only for other actors or people who thought they were hip to what acting was about and film sets were about. But it isn't. It somehow takes the side of those who attentively, intelligently and ironically and in any other adverbally watch film and television and sort of is on their side. He's our man inside, although he is a professional as well. It's very hard to explain quite what the appeal of it is.
People are fascinated by fame and chasing fame, being famous, having been famous. And so to us, it seems like it's as valid a subject as, class used to be in 70s sitcoms.
It is a comedy and it's extremely funny, but it does open up all these questions about what on earth we do, what relationship we have forged with television, with actors, with drama itself, with celebrity, with the whole nature of a thing that most human beings in this country spend far too much time doing, which is sitting and watching television. I do a huge amount of it. One should remember Noel Coward, who was asked once whether he saw a television programme. He said, television is not for watching, it is for being on.
The first day I left the set and went home in the car, I don't think I'd felt that confused for quite a long time.
I've been without a man so long, I think I'd say yes if Ray asked me out.
My ears are burning.
Maybe I can last a few more years.
I didn't actually know what I'd done at all. Because there I am, I'm in a sitcom that Lise has agreed to be in because she thinks it's a good vehicle for her. And here I am talking about myself as somebody else as well. That sort of bit marshmallow head.
I think it's the bloody hinges. Get off your arse and fix it, will you?
The sitcom's crap. Only it's my vehicle. And somewhere I think I felt in my marrow, I felt a bit sort of let down. A bit sad that I'd said yes to that. A bit desperate.
I genuinely am fond of When the Whistle Blows.
Yeah,
it does make me laugh, and Ray makes me laugh.
My ears are burning.
I think I can last a few more years.
Morning, campers.
Andy is the straight man, and as important as, Andy Millman is in the show, it's not as much fun doing Andy, a normal man who's surrounded by idiots, as suddenly going, hey, how?
Oh, Mr. Stokes, will you be nice to her?
And you feel guilty because you think, well, this is easy. Anyone can put on a wig and funny glasses and go, how? But then you see how far you can go.
I don't get it.
Neither does his wife.
Oh, you...
I'm sorry.
Tone down.
This is what I can't resist. This is the move I can't resist. I don't know.
We even thought of doing one whole episode where almost certainly I would also play my sister.
Definitely would play his sister.
Split screen, close up on a completely different, a woman's hand. Can't believe it, what are you doing here? Oh, so what am I doing here? What are you doing here? And just doing the exact the same character, but she'd have a slightly different wig and glasses that went up like that. Oh, bloody hell, that's my sister, I haven't seen her for years. Hello, Raymond. Oh, bloody hell.
Are you having a laugh? Are you having a laugh?
The bizarre thing is that people started shouting that catchphrase at me in the street.
That is bizarre.
You having a laugh?
We were trying to say, that it was quite simple to have come up with this particular catchphrase, and people were shouting it without irony. Are you having a laugh?
Good catchphrase.
It is good, yeah.
It's brilliant.
Hey.
Obviously, the main star of the first episode is Orlando Bloom.
Oh no, I don't believe it.
What is it?
Just top 5 sexiest film stars, for God's sake.
You in it?
Number 1.
And we had this nice storyline about the idea that Ashley, who's always looking for a guy, suddenly, for some bizarre reason, doesn't find Orlando attractive.
Come out for a coffee with me, come on, just get to know me, get to know the normal me. Take a better look and see the attractiveness.
I don't think you are.
And then we got Orlando, and we were working with him, and then thought, oh my God, at the end of episode 6, series 1, she takes down a poster of Orlando Bloom. And we thought,
that doesn't make any sense.
What's the chances of that? So she would like him. And we thought, no one will remember.
Yeah, we were hoping that they'd think it was Johnny Depp if they remembered it. Yeah.
Keith's on his way.
Keith Chegwin. Keith Chegwin. Can he act? He's a TV presenter, isn't he?
I think for us, the person who really stole that first episode was Cheggers, Keith Chegwin, because that was such a big ask of him.
When I got the script through, I thought, oh God, I'm really worried about this, because I read the first bit and it was me, being an idiot. Then I read the second bit, it was me having a go at Jews and queers. Then I read the third bit, which having a go at black people. I thought, I'll blow it. I may as well kill my career in one go. Men have knobs. Women have fannies. Pop, knob and fanny. Not up the arse.
People forget that he was an actor. He was both a child actor, but he was also amazingly in Roman Polanski's version of Macbeth, bizarrely. And then obviously went on to do Cheggers Plays Pop. And so I think people had forgotten that he was once an actor. And I think we were also surprised at how good an actor he was.
I put it this way, if God had wanted to cock up an arse, he wouldn't have given us minges.
The truth is, if you're not happy, I'm right behind you.
Right.
And, I've got the perfect replacement.
For what?
For you, for your character. It's only Barry.
All right, Sean.
He's all set, knows all the lines.
When I first got the call to do Extras, I was never in any doubt that I'd do it, because I'd always wanted to work with Rick and Stephen anyway, obviously, because I was a huge fan of The Office, but it's always worrying going back, and because I'm playing Sean Williamson, but I'm also playing Barry, and after 3 years out of the soap, you're always trying to shake off your soap character. And I think this is about the only thing that would have tempted me to go back to be Barry, as it were.
I remember when we were writing the first series, we always had this idea that whenever Andy came in to see his agent, there'd be a person sat outside the agent's office, desperate for work.
Yes.
Oh, you all right? Is he in?
Yes.
And I think straight away, the first thought was Sean Williamson, Barry from EastEnders. I can't remember there ever being another option on the
No, I
table.
remember why. We found it funny that people refer to him as Barry.
Yeah.
Even in the press, they'd say Barry from EastEnders.
Or Sean Barry from EastEnders.
Exactly, yeah. And we thought, I wonder if that bugs him.
Do you remember this guy? It's only Barry off EastEnders.
Hello.
Oh, yeah.
He said that's exactly true. He's been in meetings with people, with executives, that have said, shook his hand and said, well, great to see you, Barry. And he hasn't said anything. So we thought, well, this is great.
The thing about Barry is, and I've noticed this, right? People will laugh at him. They never laugh with him. It's extraordinary. Look at that face. There's sort of undercurrent of tragedy to it, isn't there? The dynamic between the agent and Barry just seemed so much fun that it seemed mad not to sort of beef up their roles a bit in the second series.
When the scripts were actually delivered, I couldn't believe it. I flicked through episode 1, and I was already in episode 1 more than I was for the entire first series, and then it just got better and better the more I read, so I was over the moon with that. It was wonderful.
I have so much fun doing scenes with Sean. I just think he's a genuinely great comic performer. I mean, he's inventive, he's warm, he'll just come up with little ideas, just tiny little subtle touches which really amuse us.
I was quite overawed, I think, the first series, and didn't put as much myself in as I'd like, but this time I'm getting a bit braver and just experimenting a bit more, because I know I won't get shouted at now.
For instance, I'm having to feed him some cake at one point, and as he leans in to take a bite of the cake, he just said, hello. Here's a lovely bit of muffin, mate. Try some.
Hello.
Hello. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Just said hello
to the cake. So suddenly now it's this entity, he's personified it, that it can understand him. It's mutual. He's thinking the cake knows. I love it. I love the cake. And we just couldn't. And then he upped it.
That's lovely.
Ooh.
Try some.
Hello, you.
You swine.
Hello, you. Really sexy to a muffin.
Try some of that.
Hello, you.
Lovely bit of muffin. Try some of that.
Hello, you. Sorry.
Oh, lovely.
Why is he eating it like that?
Yeah, why are you eating it like that?
Me hands, I've been cleaning up the toilet.
Why is he eating it like that? We always knew we wanted to make Andy a bit famous eventually, for a couple of reasons. One, it injects the sitcom with a new dimension, and two, it gives you a chance to really parallel your own experiences.
The two guys have experienced it for themselves now. Obviously, since the success of The Office, what people have to go through in the street if they've got a well-known face.
I've been recognised by homeless people, and I did think, oh God, well, you know, you're surprised.
Spare any change?
Sorry, mate.
Okay, have a nice day.
Cheers.
Good luck with the show, Andy.
Cheers. How do you know I am? Where did he watch the show? Through Dixon's window?
I was walking along once, and it was about 10:30 at night, and this I don't know what the PC term is. It's tramp, isn't it?
Tramp. Hobo.
Hobo. Recognised me, went, oh! He said, I've just been nicking your DVDs from HMV. He said, I just swing it over the barrier as I walk out. I went, oh, well done.
Don't give people clues
I know.
as to how to do it.
So I think you should probably tell them to either buy something or get it.
No, sorry, that's a mistake. No, I didn't mean that.
The relationship
What I meant was you could buy
of
them.
Sean and the agent is really quite disturbing. You just wonder what they get up to, you know, in their time away from the office, as it were.
How's it going?
Not so good, actually. Things aren't quite panning out.
Let's not talk
as
about that now,
apologies.
man. Let's not bring the mood
It's
down
not
now.
good
These
at all.
couple of stories like this are up for it.
What do you mean, up for it?
It's quite a sweet relationship, really. The agent has got a heart, no matter how strange the character comes across. He has got a heart, and he's quite attached to Barry, I think, and feels quite sorry for him. So, and he's always trying to put Barry or Sean in front of Andy Millman to get him work.
You're definitely going to...
Yes.
Yeah. Forget it, Barry's going to do it, mate.
I know.
I'm as annoyed as you are, mate.
With me, he's the idiot. With Barry, he's sort of in charge. So it's swapping dynamics that's fun. And that happens with Andy. When I'm with the agent or Maggie or Barry, I'm king. They're all idiots.
Like you, we look.
Yeah, lovely. But when I get confronted with something and there's some jeopardy, a director or producer...
Or someone sort of, as it were, superior to you, Stephen Fry, for instance.
Yeah, I'm on the back foot because, you know, there's always someone better than you. And it's just fun to... We do that in our life all the time. Sometimes we're in control, sometimes we're not.
You got a 10, I've only got 20. Is that? It's either 40 or 60 then.
Or 60 then.
60 then.
One of the most exciting things for us is casting, and it's casting new people, it's finding new talent. We don't want to just use someone else's little black book. We don't want to borrow people from loads of other sitcoms. In this one, David Earl, who plays the obsessive fan.
God, it's you.
We absolutely love. We just saw a little tape of him doing a couple of little characters, and we were mesmerised.
Just do the catchphrase.
Okay. You having a laugh?
Do it properly.
You having a laugh? Is he having a laugh?
I love everything about it.
He had no agent, he wasn't a professional actor or whatever, he just sent in this tape to us. And that's so thrilling. And when you watch that performance, I just think it's genuinely brilliant. I mean, there's so many little nuances to it, aren't there? Little bits of detail.
Do you live near here?
Yeah.
Where?
Just quite near here.
Oh, what street?
Fucking maniac. It's quite nice at the end when I go back there and I need to be with someone that recognises me, and he's got all his mates who are just equally nerdy, but they're enjoying their life.
I'll never stop.
They're having a good time. They're not hurting anyone. They're just a little bit different, a little bit weird, a little bit strange. Reminded me a lot of when I first met Steve.
In what way? Sorry, in what way?
No, I'm saying sort of nerds and freaks and weirdos are
But how
nice
does that
people.
remind you of you? Me, I don't understand how that... I don't understand why the two would...
Well, no, you're forgetting something. You weren't always this cool.
That's true.
When I first met you, you were a bit of a loser.
This is not... Well, not as cool.
No.
Yeah, who got the Comedy Award this year?
Oh, God. Look, David Bowie.
I think one of the highlights of the whole two series was working with David Bowie. I mean, he's been a hero of mine for 25 years.
I can't hear you, love. Come over here.
It surprised me that he's such a normal bloke. You forget. I was talking to him on the phone back and forth about the song and the lyrics and what we needed. It was very casual, you know. He called, left a message. I called him back. He went, "Hello." I went, "Is that David?" He went, "Yeah." He went, "Oh, excuse me, I'm just eating a banana." And just to think of David Bowie eating a banana, because we always think of him at home, he's still got the stripe, he's got the ziggy hair, the platform, so I was going, "Oh, I'm a little bit peckish. I know, what's a little morsel that's got both protein and carbohydrates? It's a banana." You know, exactly. And he's not a space alien. He's a bloke from London who's done brilliantly well.
Have you seen it?
I haven't, no. Is it any good?
Nice. Oh, just riffraff everywhere. We actually enjoyed having normal conversations with him about pasta and the congestion charge. You know, he's
got some very strong views about pasta.
They should extend it to Kensington.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Little fat man who sold his soul.
The
little fat man who sold his dream.
He's so funny as well. He's so funny and clever and erudite, and his humour's so dry that he'll just suck you in. He'll just start telling you these ridiculous things, and you go, really? And he's lying. He's just making stuff up, and he does it with such a straight face. He's a really good comic performer.
What made me want to do a British sitcom? Well, as you probably know, my background's in serious acting before I started doing the writing, singing thing, and so something like doing the extras is a piece of cake for me, really. And it was fun working with Rick, showing him pointers, maybe new ways of approaching comedy that he hadn't really thought about before, I think.
He's so depressed at being hated. Fatty takes his own life. Fatso.
Fatso, I like Fatso.
Yeah, let's go with Fatso.
When we came up with the idea of doing a song, he said he would do the lyrics with Stephen. And I said, that would be great, I'd love that to happen. And I'd do the melody. But then I'd give him some jokes for future episodes of Extras. So I gave him a couple of my better things. There's one that I think he's doing in the Sir Ian McKellen show. It's, yeah, you and whose army? Which, you know, it's like, that's an example, the kind of thing that I've got. And there were a couple more. If you keep looking like that, your face will stay like it. That's really quite a zinger, isn't it? And that kind of thing, you see. So, you know, I've been writing jokes for him. And he assures me they'll be in the future episodes. So it's been very fulfilling, this whole experience.
The only frustration with working with someone who you consider a living genius is you feel like somehow you want to be able to crawl inside their head and figure out what makes them tick and how they write those songs and things. And of course, there's no way you can, you know.
Are you talking about me, or are you talking about David Bowie? Oh, sorry.
Living genius.
No, I can tell you our work. I can tell you.
No, I was talking about David Bowie, living genius.
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, yeah. He is too.
What you've got to bear in mind is it's not for you to presume that you're a genius. That's always for other people to say, Rick. You can't.
Shut up.
No, I'm saying you may not be a living genius.
I may not be.
It's not for us to say, is it?
Coming up today, what made rising star Andy Millman punch a defenceless Down syndrome child and his elderly wheelchair-bound mother in the face? Denise Robertson will be here to speculate.
If you've got your anonymity and you make a fool of yourself in a restaurant, people say, there was a guy in here, oh, you should have seen it. Now they'd go, God, Andy Millman, off when the whistle blows was in it, he made a complete prat of himself. And that gets into folklore. The scene that starts it all with a guy with Down syndrome, and it's sort of an honest mistake, but because he's famous, anything he does now gets in the paper and exaggerated.
Millman had been glugging red wine and let off a tirade of abuse at the innocent child and his stunned mother, who he claimed was as mad as her son.
I didn't say that.
I don't think it was intended to sort of suggest, oh, you know, woe is the celebrity who must struggle through press intrusion. It was more the idea, again, that it's funnier for Andy now that he's famous because, you know, but as you say, people are monitoring him and watching him, and things can escalate and spiral into the most comically absurd way.
But as you say, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Pick on someone your own size, Fatty?
Oh, maybe there is.
People often say, oh, that your comedy is politically incorrect, and I think we've always felt that it's not actually, it is politically correct. Oh, midget. The reason that those uncomfortable issues like disability or race or whatever, why they're interesting in comic terms is because people feel uncomfortable dealing with those areas sometimes if they don't feel relaxed about those subjects. And so as soon as there's an anxiety about something, there's always comedy in the wings waiting to burst through.
In Series 1, where I mistakenly think that the girl with cerebral palsy is drunk.
It's my sister.
What makes it worse, her sister's sitting there, she goes, that's my sister, she's got cerebral palsy. And then the backtracking's funny as well. No, not her. not whereas he should have gone, sorry, didn't know, sorry about that. But it's the fun is the people digging a hole. There's no God, there's no heaven. You're not going to be up there talking normally and running around legs and playing volleyball and everything.
We're not laughing at cerebral palsy or Down syndrome. We're laughing at the anxiety of someone confronted with those things and dealing with them inappropriately. An idea that we had from the first series was Daniel Radcliffe acting like a teenager who's trying to impress with his smoking and then getting caught by his mum. I don't know why, that just seemed amusing to us straight away.
Yeah.
Because he's so identified with, you know, this do-gooding wizard schoolboy.
I think people generally tend to think that from interviews or whatever, they sort of know you, and it would be nice to just completely, not that I am particularly playing myself in the episode, but it would be nice to sort of temporarily destroy the image they think they have of me.
We'd have liked him obviously to have been dressed as Harry Potter, but I think there was concerns from various people that it's a very protected brand, and
we had to be very careful with what we said,
and various things we couldn't say or do, but therefore we wanted to give him a costume that perhaps implied a magical fantasy film without it being clearly Harry Potter. And a Boy Scout is the obvious example.
With a wood elf.
With a little magical wood elf.
That says magical film to me straight away.
A magical wood elf?
A wood elf playing a flute.
Yeah.
That to me says magical film.
I'd had Ricky's number to call him up and told to call, so I called him up, and then we chatted for about probably 20 minutes about the episode and the fact that I was going to get to flick a condom onto the head of, at that time, an unconfirmed dame. And that sold it, really. That was all I needed to know.
I think of the various requests we've made of various celebrities, some of the biggest asks were in this series. I mean, Dame Diana Rigg with a condom on her head.
Let's hope it's big enough.
We were on the bus, and it was a really hot day. It was about 98 degrees. We were all sweating, and I remember we had to get through this. We only had her for the afternoon, and I remember at one point going, "Oh, can you dangle the condom a little bit more over her eye?" And someone was doing this, and she's there, just there, and I thought, that's a weird day's work.
It's a strange image.
That's a strange thing to do. What did you do today? Just asked Dame to pop the condom a little bit more over her eye.
Excuse me, haven't you forgotten something?
Oh, thank you, Dame Diana.
People sometimes ask us, why do we think that the stars are willing to take part, you know, for no money and everything? And I don't know. I think hopefully it's a fun day for them.
We had three scenes to do. We got them all done, and it was like, it's a really fast way of working, and you don't feel quite as nervous about laughing. Thank you, Dame Diana.
Still going to use that, yeah?
That'll be fine.
There's no pressure on them because they straight away see that we don't really know what we're doing, and I fuck up my lines and corpse at the slightest things. They think, well, if it's okay for him, there's nothing to beat here. Still going to use it then?
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay, one more.
So close.
On most things people work on, if they're doing an 8-hour day, probably 1 hour is acting and 7 is waiting around in a Winnebago, and we work very fast. We go, let's do it again, let's do this.
Ricky doesn't come in till like 10, and he wants to make sure we leave by 3, so the hours are fantastic.
The performance remains fresh the faster you work. Too much rehearsal, too much planning, too much time spent setting everything up can sort of, you know, bring the energy levels down.
Of course, that's better for the actors and the crew, because sometimes I feel that I'm rushing crew. And the thing is,
who's more important, Rick?
Well, the actors.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
and also, the crew are annoyed for 7 hours, but then they're home at 4 and they thank me.
the BAFTA episode probably illustrates that even more. You know, the idea that he's at this ceremony and he makes a little confession about an ex-girlfriend that he dumped for being boring.
I'd just like to say to Andy Millman,
when she declares everything in front of all the BAFTA members, all the people in the audience, and theoretically everyone watching at home, it becomes even more preposterous and even hopefully funnier.
I may be boring, but at least I didn't lose my virginity when I was 28.
Rick, can I just take a moment to sing the praises of our art director, Anna Higginson, and our director of photography, Martin Hawkins, for the excellent work they did in recreating the BAFTA ceremony for episode 4.
That was scary, because my fear was that, you know, when you see like a sketch show or a sitcom and you have real footage of a football match and it's Man U Arsenal and this big crowd, and then it goes in for the conversation and there's 4 people like with nice gaps, like silence, right, talking.
So clearly not.
And now and then they're going, oh. So anyway, they're talking this quietly because they can talk this quietly because there's 60,000 people cheering. And we thought it mustn't look like that.
It can't look phony. It can't look fake.
Because what we had to do, we had real footage of the BAFTAs, of course, because we can't get a team of 1,000 extras.
So we got the tapes of the actual ceremony as it was filmed for TV. And then when you come in tight to little scenes at the table, that's all fake, recreated months later in the
everything when you see
studio.
a character from Extras is recreated.
Are you having a laugh? Is he having a laugh? Is he having a laugh?
I think it was a real thrill for us when Richard Bryars came down because he is a sort of living comic treasure.
You see, I'm old now, and they said, my friends, they said, you know, you ought to do something cutting edge. So they said, what about Ricky Gervais? I said, well, he's certainly cutting edge.
When he came down, I just felt that it was a real honour. Do you know what I mean? It was a real honour.
People have been so impressed by me doing this show with Ricky Gervais, I can't tell you. It's a bit annoying, really, because they seem to be more interested in him than me. But it is a challenge, and one's got to keep oneself going mentally. Plus the fact they did tell me there was a built-in repeat fee, which is always a help, you know, when you're my age. And so I was happy, grateful, and very moved to be asked.
Are you having a laugh? Is he having a laugh?
I found in The Office and indeed this series, the Extras, that there were slight undertones of Martin in Never Decreases Circles, who was also an impossible person.
A man who sees himself differently to everyone else, pomposity, jealousy. It was all in Martin in Never Decreases Circles, and it was just played to perfection.
Tacky shit. Ricky's embarrassment, I think, is wonderful, and that's one of the great things of comedy, is embarrassment and unhappiness and frustration, and all these lovely things which we have to put up with daily are in fact turned a certain way. They're funny.
Ronnie Corbett was a real thrill for me as well, because I was a massive Two Ronnies fan, and
I had trouble just not laughing looking at him, even when he just turned around and went, hello, and I go, because
he's just a funny man.
He's a funny man.
He's got funny bones.
But I do remember the first conversation I had with Ricky. I said how thrilled I was to hear that he was interested, and he said to me, "You haven't done what I want you to do yet." Uh-oh, what's this?
Who's that?
Oh, hi. How you doing, all right? Well, immediately I was game for it. I'm not sure my wife was quite sure to that. I wonder if that's going to be all right. And I told my daughters, and they were all hysterical, so... And it's been lovely. I mean, because it's not been at all nasty. It's just been a really naughty feeling, really naughty boys in this laboratory. It's just what I've enjoyed being at the age of 75, to be a naughty boy again. It's quite exciting.
You shouldn't say your name. Never tell them your name.
Well, then...
The great thing is that both Ricky and Stephen laugh. They know what is funny. They know what they're after, and when they get it and they see it, they enjoy it afresh.
Who's that?
Oh, hello. Sorry, are you all right?
So funny.
Having put it on paper months ago, and they see it come to life, they laugh, and there's no greater encouragement really for performing than to get a laugh in a small, film studio. So it's been really quite uplifting, really.
So, is this it? Or is there more?
Just a bit of whiz, to blow away the cobwebs.
I'm so sorry.
Just a bit of whiz, to blow away the cobwebs.
I know the call.
Just a little whiz to blow away the cobwebs.
I laughed at whiz because he put an H in. I laughed at whiz. Very funny. Out of all the people we've ever worked with, I remember, I think, looking forward to Chris Martin at most, because it was absurd what we were asking him to do.
What's this for today? It's for people in the third world who don't have clean drink.
What's funny about playing
that part of a big rock star is that, you know, you actually get to be a big rock star for a bit. Because what people don't realise is that most of the time you're just a loser, no matter how many tickets you sell. Not a loser, but, you know, you don't get to behave that badly all the time.
People think of him as being quite po-faced if they only know him from, you know, from the public image of him. And actually, in real life, he's a very funny man, very warm, very down to earth,
genuinely nice and sweet and caring.
I'm playing the part of Chris Martin, an international soft rock star. Why did I play it? Well, because, well, otherwise I'd have just stayed at home and masturbated. It would have been a waste of another day. Okay, let's get on with this. I've got to do AIDS and Alzheimer's and landmines this afternoon, and I want to get back for Deal or No Deal, plus Gwyneth's making drumsticks.
They got me!
The filming and the acting process, I think, it'll be plain to see, is difficult for me. I'm promoting our new album. Fuck.
What?
It's hard, you know? Just because you can boil a chicken doesn't mean you can, you know, skin a rabbit.
When's that due out?
It's due out. It is. It's due out on the 17th.
Okay. I'll do it again. Just do for the. When's that due out?
It is coming out. It is coming out.
Okay.
It was difficult, you know. I'm not an actor. It's funny because I got offered a part in a film the other day, but I said no because I can't act. But then Ricky Gervais called me, and it's difficult to say no when someone's that annoying. You just want to get him off the phone.
Chris, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Has it got such hits as Hardest Part, Fix You, Yellow, Trouble?
Yes, it's got all those hits
Oh, great.
and more.
Has it got Talk?
It's got talk.
No, not Talk. Speed at Sound?
It has got speed of sound.
Fucking hell! It's the greatest hits of all fucking time!
As Oscar Wilde so wonderfully put it, we're all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars. The fact is, I'm, like everybody, unashamed fan of Extras. I thought it was a brilliant piece of work, the first series, and the opportunity to do a second one. And to get away with not actually being completely humiliated, though I suppose like every guest actor on this series, you imagine there is a parallel script underneath in which one is completely trashed and you're given the one in which you sort of get away with reasonably being a human being. Or that when I exit, there's some other mutterings about me that I will never want to hear again.
I was also, I have to say, very excited to work with Stephen Fry because particularly when I was younger, was a massive Stephen Fry fan. I remain so, but I can recite whole sketches, and it was weird as I was talking to him. I did at one point say, I have to just say to you, you know, sir is handsomely right to say so, and if two broad-shouldered, long-fingered gentlemen such as ourselves can come independently to the conclusion that the morning we are currently experiencing is one of a goodness, then one of a goodness it most assuredly is, which is some dialogue from one of his sketches.
And Stephen Fry went, fuck off, you nerd.
At least I got it out of my head.
Which I thought was rude of him.
It was a little bit rude. I just had to get it out of my mind. It was there. It was just in my brain. And it was like, what was I going to do with it?
Oh, God!
We wanted to play to look like one of those 1950s homoerotic coming-of-age type things. And so we thought it would be hilarious that I was in that white, tight T-shirt.
Come on, Fran, you're like... God, sorry.
At one point I'm sitting cross-legged and I look like a cross between Buddha and a little frog.
Do you remember the first time we came here?
Yeah.
With Paul?
Yeah.
Andy Millman is a little bit edgy about the idea of being thought of as gay.
Well, he's sort of like a fish out of water, really, because he wants to move away from his past and his sort of thuggish, homophobic mates who might not have the artistic aspirations that he has. And yet, when he tries to do something for the wrong reasons, get a bit of credibility doing this gay story...
You're mad.
He's not comfortable with that either.
He's a little bit of a hypocrite, as I think most of us are in some way.
Okay.
Sir Ian McKellen was extraordinary. People often talk about the great Shakespearean actors and how they were mesmerising on stage. And I never really understood what that was. And it wasn't until we were sat there filming those sequences where he's just talking rubbish about acting that I personally was just transfixed by him. I mean, there's something about the way that man performs, about his charisma, about the way he just hypnotises you.
The words were written down for me in a script. How did I know where to stand? People told me.
We've also got quite a lot of business in that episode, which, I mean, I love bits of comic business, and I don't think we perhaps did enough of that in the past, enough sort of pratfalling and clumsiness and stuff.
Okay. George, can you get us some Vaseline?
I also obviously had a great time doing the sequence with the lavatory and Ashley. We sort of thought it would be fun to put them on a date together because they're a very unlikely couple. Just left a bit of, flush away completely, so annoying. My parents tell me they can't watch that scene. They refuse to watch it, and I find it quite unpleasant. To be honest, I don't want you to have to worry about it. But it just seemed to us just a lovely piece of, again, business. What is the worst thing you could do on a date?
That's up there.
That's up there. That's just mashing it up. I found it a little bit difficult having more acting to do in this series because I don't naturally take to remembering lines. Often I'm sat down because I've got the lines hidden around the set. I'm very dependent on Ricky guiding me in that performance. I've got no real sense of what I'm doing as I'm saying the lines. I don't know what my face is doing.
Maybe that comedy award should be mine then.
Well, maybe if you put in a little bit more work, you'd have figured that out. Maybe if you'd been in the country, I'd like to give it to someone who's actually could be bothered to turn up.
No, well done. Well done. Good one.
I was about to compliment you, so I won't.
Oh, go.
No, I was going to say that I rely on you because I trust your opinions, but now I'm not going to say that.
Too late.
Caught me out. That's why he's brilliant. That's why he's got the BAFTAs and the Globes.
The Emmy.
What?
And the Emmy.
Right.
Come on.
Can I just say, the reason that I insisted on a low loader, which takes 10 times the amount of time...
Because you're scared of my driving.
Yeah, because you're an idiot.
I'm not a fucking idiot.
You rev up
I'm an
and you...
excellent driver. Well, I mind passing that.
You're like a child in a big toy.
You know what it is? It's because you are like a baby. You can't deal with anything over... You can't... You know, you're a law abider. And
what an insult!
Can't abide an abider.
You're still so punk, aren't you? OBE.
I knew that he'd tease me, so I thought, well, I put it on a low loader, which is a truck dragged behind. But there was one point we needed an up and pass where you actually have to drive and overtake the camera and whiz off. And of course, he frightened me.
Why are we on the motorway? This is the loop. Right, okay, I'm serious now.
I thought an E-Type Jag was a lovely car, but it ruined the experience for me.
You are genuinely petrified of going over about 25 miles an hour, aren't you? It's bizarre. I've never known an adult man as nervous as you are in a car.
Have you seen the damage that you can do at only 25 miles an hour? Slow down.
We've become very close friends. We're hanging out together, just as guys would. Yeah, I think it is probably going to be seen as quite a homoerotic scene, but I think it's in the eye of the beholder, really. There is a chemistry between us, obviously, but I think at the same time it's there. If you want to see it, you don't have to see it. You don't have to be what we call a gay to enjoy it. You could be a straight as well. Either way, you'd get what you want from it. A gay would probably get a bit more from it, but a straight, if he's watching it with his partner, maybe warm her up, and then everyone's happy. That's what we're really aiming for. Oh, it's lovely. It's close to our real life relationship, to be honest with you. If anything, we're probably a little bit closer in real life than we are here. I mean, here there's a scene where we're lying around and we're playing tennis together, which we do quite a lot. And we eat together, which we do quite a lot, and it's a barrier breaking kind of thing. Often, if it was at my house, a normal situation, we may well swim together, we'll steam together. Yes, maybe, like, we're kind of like ancient Greeks, in that intimacy between men doesn't mean anything other than friendship. And if a man was to dry another man off after a shower, what about it? What about it? If a man was to touch another man's body and himself derive pleasure from that, it doesn't make him a bad person, it doesn't make him a gay, it makes him someone who's just open. If a man was to wank another...
Alan Bleasdale.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, off. Have a style that is unique to themselves. And it took me a while, but I found it.
People associating with things like My Family, and they perhaps forget that he's also done some great, quite heavy drama and things like GBH, where he did extraordinary work, and he's got that amazing kind of little edge to him. There's a little bit of darkness.
But his timing's brilliant. It's because I bought DVDs of My Family. Come on, everyone likes these.
No, I don't. I prefer that edgier stuff on BBC Two.
What are you, a critic? I enjoyed it. And I didn't think I was going to enjoy it. Obviously, I'd love to ask him first, being one of Britain's best loved and most popular actors. And let's not forget, he can sing and he can dance. And he has won awards on Broadway.
He went as well. No, I didn't. I was laughing and you're laughing. Don't blame me. It's your fault. You're ruining it for him.
How many Emmys have they got?
This is so pathetic. I'm ashamed that you have to see us like this.
How many Emmys?
Oh, God.
I actually did a show with Robert Parkinson, and he did a song and dance thing.
I thought the show, it was lacking a little bit of, entertainment, so I just burst into song, and I could see he was either impressed or shocked.
We thought that would be funny, because a 10-year-old would not know these references.
My dad said, be an actor, my son, but be a comical one.
It's too much gusto to give in a small hospital room. It's just here, you can't put on that much of a show. It's just embarrassing. A couple of gags, maybe some card tricks, but
and all
not
the time
routine.
this being balanced with this kid that's on morphine because he's in pain because he's he's very, very ill.
What I didn't do was limber up, warm myself up and get myself in, and this is what I ended up with, a sprained knee, doing the whole of Singing in the Rain.
One of the most bizarre moments in the entire filming process was where we were filming a scene with Ashley where she's playing Operation with the sick kid, and she has to say the line, from what I've heard, your tumour's massive.
I hope the surgeon reckon he's better than you.
Well, it's a tiny little thing here I'm trying to pull out from what I've overheard. Sorry.
And again, straight away.
We just thought she'd fumbled the lines or whatever, and that was fine, so we started it again.
This is a tiny little thing I'm trying to get out here from what? Pants. Well, this is a tiny little thing I'm trying to get out here from what I've...
Oh, that was good up to there.
From what I've overheard. Yep, right. This is the one. Well, look, I'm trying to get this tiny little thing out here from Walmart.
Okay.
It became almost a nervous tick. Is that how you describe it?
You learn the mistake. Once you've said it, it's like muscle memory. That building up to it, you'll always go wrong in the same place, in the same way.
Well, this is just a tiny little thing I'm trying to get out here from one... What is wrong with me? From Walmart. From Walmart. Hold on, wait a minute, I'm having a wee sweat here.
Take after take after take, and she's still not able to do it. And we're not angry, we're just... What can anyone do?
But this is a tiny little thing I'm trying to get out here from one...
Have you got a bee sting? What's the matter with you? If you're eating peanuts, you shouldn't.
From what I'm...
But
this is a wee tiny thing I'm trying to get out here from one...
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I don't think we'll ever do this, will we?
Then she couldn't even say it when we were just trying to run the lines before the cameras turned over. I mean, that's even more bizarre. It became a speech impediment.
It actually started talking like the teachers in Peanuts.
Yeah,
This is just a wee tiny thing I'm trying to get out here from one...
You made me swear in front of a sick child as well. Oh dear, it's kicked in. And of course the pressure was on her and she went, okay, this time. She went, oh, from warm.
From one...
Good night, everybody. See you later.
You know now you're more stupid than the character. You've actually tipped over into a whole new category. Unbelievable.
What can I say?
Nothing. The right words is what you can say.
Hope the surgeon working on me is better than you.
Well, this is just a wee tiny thing I'm trying to get out here from one...
Oh, please, not again.
Reset, please, reset.
We got ourselves into, and I'm going to use the word pickle, Rick. Because, no, I'll tell you why. Because it was a finger, it's just a finger. We got ourselves into something of a trifle. Because we had in our minds, we'd got this ending which involved Robert De Niro, and Ricky had done a small bit in a film with Robert De Niro, and for some reason this convinced us that it would be possible to get De Niro for the show. I mean, you know.
So I remember when, a few days before, Steve was going, "You can ask him to be in it." I was going, "Yeah, but I'm just going to play it cool." And then I did a rehearsal with him, and he goes, "How did the rehearsal go?" And I went, "Yeah, fine." Did you ask him? I went, "No, I'm not. No, not yet. Let me. No." And so when I did this film with him, I was working for all day, and it was like 8 hours of bravado. I was mucking around as well, and putting him off, and got on well. And then like about half hour before the end, I went over to him and I went, "I think you're the best actor in the world. You're brilliant. I love you in The Godfather and Taxi Driver and all that. Brilliant. Do you want to be an extra?" He went, "Oh," and we got interrupted. Okay, but and I went back again. I went, "No, it's just a thing, extras. You probably wouldn't want to." And he went, "I'll call you about that thing." I went, He went, "I'll call you about that." I went, "Okay." And I said, he said he's going to call me, right? One day, about 3 days later, I get a missed call. And he goes, "Hi, it's Bob. I'm calling about that thing." And I couldn't believe it. So I called him back and I went, "Oh, hi." I went, "I thought I told you never to fucking call me." Luckily he laughed. Robert De Niro is the greatest actor in the world, so I'd obviously like to work with him. What we agreed was that we would find a time when we could do it, sort of between now and broadcast, and we took him on his word. And the first scene we filmed for Extras was me on the Jonathan Ross show, where we mentioned getting De Niro.
Challenge accepted. De Niro, I will hook you up with De Niro.
You can get me De Niro?
Yeah, but lose some weight first.
So if he couldn't have done it, I don't know where we'd have been.
Well,
we had no plan B.
No, we had no plan B, and it was never confirmed. So every time we were filming another scene which had a little mention to him, we would just fingers crossed that he would sort of say definite yes and give us a confirmation and a date. And the whole time we were just, it's like blindly going forward thinking, well, we're going to have to broadcast this.
We were terrified that we would have to just reshoot one scene with a mug in front of our face going, "Who's your hero again?" Martin Freeman.
Kevin Bacon said that he could
Look, I told you, Ant and Dec are making another film over it, and
Okay, now let's not laugh about it yet. So when we actually got him there,
that day after we'd filmed, we had him for like 45 minutes, and he was a joy.
Yeah,
he was an absolute joy.
Came in, boom.
We couldn't believe our luck. We were giggling. We were going, "We've got De Niro." Then came over at one point. I went, "Oh, Steve, you might want to something or other." He went, "Oh yeah, fine, yeah, great." As I was walking back, Robert De Niro went, "How am I doing? Okay." I went, "Sorry." He went, "How am I?" Okay. I went, "Yeah, you're doing all right." And the crew laughed. But he meant it genuinely. He thought, "Am I doing okay?" I mean, just incredible. A man that has achieved what he's achieved, and is as good. I mean, he is the best actor in the world, I think.
Hang on a minute, don't do yourself down.
Oh, this is backfired.
Oh, come on. How many awards?
That's nice that you do think that. That's not for me to say.
No, it's not for you to say.
Oh, this is...
Do you need a few minutes? Yeah.